There's something I've always wanted to get outside my chest. Why do Doom fans, and gamers in particular, hate video game journalists so much? That is something I've been curious about for years now, and in this video I'm finally going to answer that question. Now, I know the title of this video says Doom fans, and that I am mainly talking about Doom as a franchise, but this video applies to every single video game that has come out in the history of video games. Yeah, even your favorite video game of all time, Gex.
Kill your TV, man.
Also, I know that not all video game journalists are awful at their own job. There's quite a few of them on the industry that do take their job with all the seriousness it deserves. But to be completely honest, they are the exception, not the norm. Also, this video is not against these journalists as people. This video is against the awful work they have done, their ideas per se, so keep that in mind. My beautiful friends, I want to know your opinion. If you think that video game journalism has been a complete joke for the past decade, leave a like on this video. I want to know how many of you think like I do. And if you do not think that way, you can dislike this video too. But anyways, let's begin, shall we? You want to know something cool? It's finally Friday. And that means that GamerSubs is hosting its final sale of the month on this unlimited waifu shaker. Temptation, Use code MIDNIGHT for 10% off your order and free international shipping. If you buy any flavor whatsoever, you get this shaker for absolutely free. But you gotta be quick. When stock runs out, and it will run out, this shaker is never going to be available again. So if you want to support the channel and get some free goodies on the way, use code MIDNIGHT on GamerSubs. Thank you so much for the support. There's quite a few problems I have with modern video game journalists, and here are some of them. Number 1, they lack common sense and a basic understanding of the game they are playing and the genre it fits. Number 2, they clickbait a lot to get those juicy rage-baiting clicks. Number 3, they rush out the review of the game to secure a higher spot in the algorithm, thus getting more traffic to their website. And number 4, they let their own personal agenda get in the way of the review. There's obviously more things wrong with what these people have normalized throughout the years on the industry, but these 4 are what have absolutely destroyed the reputation of this profession. I wish I was, but I'm not even kidding. Go read your favorite review of any game, in this case Doom Eternal, and you will find at least one of these sins. But anyways, let's dissect each one of these points, shall we?
Okay.
Number 1, they lack common sense and a basic understanding of the game they are reviewing. How many times have you seen a journalist give a bad score to X video game because they thought it was too hard for them to understand? For me, it's more than my fingers can count. Like for example, Third Coast review stating that the new mechanics Doom Eternal offers, like the Flame Belch for armor, Glory Kill for HP, Chainsaw for ammo, Blood Punch and Dash, are all a chore that completely ruin the experience of the game, and that an actual good Doom game should be more simplistic and have none of these mechanics.
What the hell is that?
Or Dean Takahashi complaining that the game was too hard because he couldn't figure out the very few platforming sections the game offers, which is completely abysmal. Officially stating that any game is bad simply because you refuse to actually try and learn the new mechanics it offers is completely disingenuous and a middle finger to the developers that spent hours, days, weeks, months, even years of their life finding a way to make the game you are playing a more enjoyable experience. The developers have said it. I have said it. Everyone has said it, for God's sake. Doom Eternal is a thinking man's first-person shooter that even veterans of the FPS genre should not underestimate. If you're not good, that doesn't mean the game is bad. Maybe you just need to actually try and understand what the game is teaching you. Recently, I began playing
Ultra Kill,
and even if at first I didn't get what the game was trying to show me, I let the game take me where it wants, and the deeper I went, went, the better it became. And for most video games, that's the standard. Don't expect to be an overpowered god at the beginning of each game. If every game was that way, the industry would go bankrupt. Number 2, they rage bait a lot. This one is pretty self-explanatory. Oftentimes, journalists write pretty dumb things on their title articles to rage bait angry people into clicking on their wannabe review. Sometimes it is just used as a means to get more clicks, with the actual review being really well made, and sometimes it is borderline bizarre.
Help me! Oh my god!
The titles of some articles I have encountered on the web are something else, man. Especially the ones I have found on Doom Eternal, like these 2 reviews accusing Doom Eternal of promoting toxic masculinity, transphobia, racism, and sexism. What in the actual fuck? Les seré sinceros, no sé cómo hay gente tan pendeja. They accuse the game or other games of these things simply because those games do not have a female protagonist and because the character is a white man, in this case, Doom Guy. But this applies to basically every single video game on the industry, not only Doom. What makes this even funnier is that both of these articles are sexist and racist, and the writers were just too dumb to even notice.
I don't know what the hell that is!
And this ties in with point number 3. They let their own personal agenda get in the way of what really matters, and that means the actual gaming question. When I read or watch a gaming review, I expect to hear if the game is fun or not, if it is actually worth its price, some insight on the new mechanics and how they work, interviews with the developers, you know, the actual stuff that matters on a video game or on the marketing of a video game project. I do not want to hear how Doom Eternal is sexist because a character who happens to be female, who happens to be a representation of the community of Doom, has a crush on the Doom Slayer. For the love of Jesus, please stick with what really matters on a video game review, not to what your own personal baby emotions that have nothing to do with video games.
How does it make you feel? It doesn't matter how it makes you feel!
And finally, number 4, they rush the review out. This is the biggest sin by far, at least for my Mexican ass. Nobody has the right to write a full-on review of a game, whether it praises it or trashes it, if you haven't even finished it. If you do, you will most likely misinform people on the good and the bad the game offers, and you will be directly affecting the game's performance. And in this era of modern gaming, where more than 90% of AAA titles are blatant, soulless, greedy cash grabs, mainstream news, media, gaming outlets misrepresenting an actual good game that deserves all the success it needs is just so modern gaming to me, and I absolutely hate it. Now you might be wondering, Midnight, why are you taking all of this extremely seriously? I'm sorry. Here's the thing, my beautiful friend. I'm tired of these journalists misrepresenting what video game reviews are all about. That being, if objectively the game is fun or not, if it is worth its price, if it is worth your precious free time. Nobody wants to hear about why X game is X thing because it hurt your little baby feelings. Nobody's gonna take someone's review seriously if they play like this, or when that person clearly didn't finish the game. Video game journalism is or used to be a respectable job that a lot of people on the industry do wonderfully, but they are the very rare exception. Journalists literally get paid to play video games by a company, but they act as if they were sick and tired of doing it, and that reflects on the very bad and sometimes sad, full of hate articles they have published. Thanks to it, this profession, which began out of pure passion for gaming and the industry, has turned into the living laughingstock of this whole ecosystem of gaming. Your dad is a game journalist has somehow turned into an even worse insult than I banged your mom. I remember fondly when I went to Blockbuster when I was little and bought my Club Nintendo magazines full of articles and reviews of games that just made me want to indulge myself in these fantasy worlds. For 8-year-old Midnight, these old school journalists were what made me discover even more franchises, and I will forever cherish those moments. Since I was little, and this was before YouTube was born, I wanted to do what these people were doing when I grew up, speaking and reviewing games like actual professionals that respect their job. In hindsight, my dream came true in the form of this channel, and thanks to you, my friends, and for that I will be forever grateful. But video game journalism, the thing I wanted to be when I grew up, like, I am not even kidding, since I was a little baby. Since I played video games, I wanted to talk about video games. I wanted my job, my daily source of income to be about something about video games, to talk about my passion. The one thing that made gaming so interesting for me in the past is a complete joke now, and I wish it wasn't. So please, for the love of Jesus, if you are a gaming journalist, just focus on what matters, that being the actual game. And if your job is to review video games, please just invest on the skills to be able to portray what that video game wants to portray on a review. I think it's not that much to ask. I mean, it's your literal job. Everyone wants to do their job right? But yes, maybe I'm taking this topic very seriously, but it's very close to my heart, if that sounds weird, and I know it sounds weird, but yeah, those were my 2 cents on this matter. Thank you for watching this video.